Adiós. Okay, hello, hello. Can you hear me? Okay, let's see. We'll wait 5 more minutes and so people to join. Okay, so we will wait 2 minutes more. While we're waiting, just want to make sure that you can hear me well. Not sure I can hear you, Nikos and Perry.
Oh, we're not. We're not talking now. We have the microphone muted.
Yeah, just your microphone is a little bit. It's not too close. If you can bring it closer.
Yeah, we have to use the webcam microphone. That's why.
Okay, no problem.
Can we maybe
The
turn off the
production,
music while we're
the
talking?
production didn't give us a microphone.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so okay, yes, great. Let's start. So starting, I will make sure we turn off the music because we don't want to hear these crazy sounds of the car. So here we are, mid-January. We have done so much the last 1 year since the inception of Rebel Cars, and we have a lot of questions to answer. I'm not sure if we will have the time to answer all of them, so I will go fast. We have included 90% of the questions because some were pretty much already answered in our Discord server several times. So I didn't want to, and we didn't felt that it's good to repeat the same questions multiple times. So all right. So starting with the first question. So I'll go with okay. So Nikos and Paris, you can shoot the questions and I will answer them. I think that's the best way.
Yep, as usual. Hello, everyone.
Hello, everybody.
How many have joined the stream right now? Is there a way to see?
Yeah,
We
got a
will
lot of
figure
people.
that out. Let's
12
continue.
watching, 16 watching. Okay, let's go.
Okay, that's something.
Can you hear us well?
Yeah, yes, we can hear you.
Okay, relatively. That's to say, relatively. All right. Welcome to January's AMA session. It's been a while since we've done one of these. I think since November we've been hibernating in the AMA section. So,
A lot of questions have occurred. What if since then?
yep.
And we need to clarify a few.
Let's move
And
forward, guys. We don't have enough time.
no, just the first one was from Cute Driver, a question that said, "Will you marry me, Andronikos?" We have to answer this first, and then the rest of them.
Oh, I've done this mistake. Sorry. I decided not to marry again. So,
Our
ladies and
disappointed
guys,
user.
whoever is interested into this kind of situation, I'm not into that anymore.
Okay,
All
okay.
right, let's
Yeah,
go over
I
to
prefer to
the.
spend to spend my time building rebel cars
All right.
and other things than expensive dinners. So sorry.
Okay,
All
what can
right.
you do?
First
Yeah,
question: which other race maps are you developing?
right. Okay, so of course we have Monaco, which we have developed already 3 months now. It's one of the metaverse also experience of the game that will come live in the next month or so. Spa, it's under development. Red Bull already tested. Some VIP members, actually all of the VIP members and our beta testers are testing Red Bull. They driving it. It's fun. We have some improvements to make, especially in the curbs areas. Some of them are not super accurate in terms of how it's supposed to be because there was an update in Red Bull. So we have to fix that. And then Monza looks pretty and very accurate. We tested it the other day. I'm very happy with the Monza. Then we have Silverstone, which is a British one, a British racetrack. Very early development of of Silverstone. It's a long track. It requires a little bit more work on that. Imola, it's already part of the beta testing, and I'm sure people have noticed that we have some additional bumps, which from the photogrammetry and so from the data we got, it was not very precise, that area. So we are refining that. Then Laguna Seca with this crazy turn. I don't remember the name now. It is one of the favorites for GT racing cars. And Japan, going to Japan, you cannot have a racing game without Suzuka. And three more. which I think we have shared some of them in our Discord, but for now, let's not reveal it and keep it as a surprise. And in general, we would like to change a little bit our philosophy of when we present stuff. So when they're ready, or at least 90% ready and ready to hit the market, then we will show, the actual asset and the actual game in use, that particular asset. If it's a car, if it's a racetrack, whatever it is, a pit girl and stuff like that. Okay, so moving to the next question.
Yep. All right. Also, I have to add a huge thank you to everyone in the Discord for testing and giving us feedback on everything. So, next question. Do you want
No,
to give
you
this
can.
one? All right. Thank you. What and how will the interaction between the pit girls and the players occur? And will the pit girls interact and communicate with each other? If yes, how?
Yeah, okay. The pit girls are something that we have already spent a lot of time, and I believe we have refined the experience in terms of how it's supposed to be in the game. So maybe it's worth to see these videos. It's also in our website, so I don't want to spend time now on clicking and showing all these videos, but just one you will see. Yeah. S- So let me pause it for a while. So what we have done is we have created an entire pipeline behind the pit girls. So they will collect your data from the game. They will know what cars you have, what races you've been. They will know parts of the game which you don't know, and they will assist you. They will tell you tips. They will tell you tricks how to win races, how to do better, marketplace decisions and stuff like that. Of course, the more you play, the more data you give to the pit girls, to the game, the more the AI will absorb that information and they will assist you. If you don't have cars, there will be a possibility that the pit girl will leave. She will mention to you, she will complain and blah blah blah. If you don't play a lot, she will complain about that. So imagine as a virtual companion girlfriend, but she's knowledgeable, not just for cosmetic reasons. So they will not interact with each other. I think it's not that we cannot do it, but I think it's going to become messy if the pit girls interact with each other. It's something to, I would like to hear your opinion on that. What other questions? Excuse me. To transfer and trade pit girls. Yes, this is already possible right now on an NFT marketplace. You can even trade a pit girl. When to be expected to be 100% functional? We don't want to say a date. We have already very good results. We have presented three pit girls here and how they act.
Yeah, and
Um,
what about the players' wives? What's going to happen there with the pit girls and the wives and,
yeah, the players, sorry.
wives?
Their
Oh, the player's
wives.
wife. That is something that I'm sure they prefer to have a virtual pit girl than a real
The
one. So
real one, eh?
Start
use
filing
that.
the divorce
Yeah,
papers.
right. Use that as an excuse, to play the game a lot. One area which I would like personally, and that is only my personal opinion, and we haven't even discussed it much, but I'll share it here. It's a possibility to connect it with your Discord or your Telegram, and they can message you, and you can allow to get information, if you want to. For example, what you've done and what you search. Maybe you're looking to buy something, or you're into music, and they can interact with you not only inside Rebel Cars, but also in a more friendly way, which I will say wives will not like that. But let's move on to the next question. And this is
Yeah.
a topic we could definitely discuss over Discord, or maybe in an event. If we meet, arrange an event in the near future, we can have a great fun with a glass of wine and discuss this.
Could you tell us when Pitgos will be expected to be 100% functional? That's what Sunfil has asked.
Yeah.
And I think we covered that.
We want first to prioritize the game. um, and racing game, of course, is a priority. So I will say it will take maybe 6 months, I will say, to see proper integration of the pit girls. But I don't want to keep a date because there is so much stuff when it comes to car racing and car physics and all that stuff that we have developed. We're very happy for that, and of course the esport and online tournaments and all that we are arranging. So
Cool.
priority is this. Speed gears is an extra thing, which it's going to be massive because AI is very hot. And one area which I feel Rebel Car is doing very good is merging AI with the racing. I mean, not only in terms of how the drivers, and we can discuss it in a later stage, how our AI drivers learn from real drivers inside the game, and to become competitive, because we're developing an AI opponent system, obviously, so you can have fun in your career mode and all that stuff. But also the way that AI, in the scope of getting data from you and analyzing and provide you better experience, more engaging experience, and become your virtual companion, it can fit to pretty much any game, not only a racing game.
Okay.
Yeah, great choice on the pit girls for creating them, and
It started as a fun thing, but I feel that this becomes
it's
very
gotten
difficult.
serious. And I
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
like the idea with integrating them to mobile apps so they can text you and stuff would bring players
Yeah, yeah,
closer to the
absolutely.
game.
Making
Absolutely.
this a really game, real game of innovation at this point, because we have a lot of things that
I'm happy
other
to
games.
hear that. I mean, let's see. I'm very excited for that. I mean, the other day, we developed these pit girls. We gave them voice and performance. And I'm looking my phone because I want to show you that if you check it from your phone, it is so engaging to see these pit girls like messaging you. And imagine, while you're resting, while you're doing something, you can have an option to say, okay, I'm allowing a pit girl to message me from, if there's an update on the game, if it's a special event where I can win race, make money, or sell my car. Even if your car, or you don't drive the car, and the car appreciation increased, what a better way to get a message on your phone, from Pete Girl, say hi, whatever name, Jamie. Um, how about selling this car, because we're not driving it? It's sitting on a garage collecting dust, and there's a lot of demand for it. So I feel it's great to have this engagement than a simple message. Um, just you read it, it makes
Yeah,
you
yeah, it's
makes a
much
connection.
better.
And yeah, and another thing, I can talk endlessly for pit girls and racing. Maybe it's because I like both, but yeah, okay, it's not the same, but it's, imagine if you win a race, and she's there telling you what you've done correct, what you've done wrong. She cheers you up. If you make a mistake, if you crash your car, and you know then she's complaining a little bit and she's telling you, okay, don't worry, but we lost the race. Now we have to try more. Now I told you to put wet tires, and you didn't do that, and stuff like that. Of course, now we're early beginning, and that is amazing when it's about a lot of projects, especially combined with AI, and projects with blockchain, like us, where we can do things for the future, and we can start building now something, but have the ports open. And as the technology of AI is increasing, as the equipment is increasing, the graphics, the other day I saw Nvidia, in a video show, they brought the new graphics card, which it's 4 times cheaper than the latest model of graphics card, and twice or to more better in performance. So today we're discussing this, but a year or two from now, we will be able to experience lifelike situations in gaming and AI interaction. And imagine it with VR. I have this headset here, to drive, to see your pit girl, to be in that kind of situation. So, okay, let's move on, because we really have so many pages, so many questions. Let's move on.
Yes. You want to ask this one,
Yeah, yeah,
Nicholas?
yes, I will. Uh, yes, the next question is about when will we be able to join a fully functional official online racing tournament? Meaning when we're going to be able to play a tournament online with a game. fully
Yeah,
functional. All the
yeah, yeah,
aspects.
yeah, yeah. Well, we're testing the multiplayer. Obviously, there was, you know, multiplayer. Once it's done for real and for good. So we're making sure that 20 plus players can join from all over the globe and participate. So the tournament, the official online tournament, needs to be rock solid to release it. We have already, many crypto projects who are lined up. They want to join, to bring their communities on board, to race. We have to make sure they also are ready and we are ready. So this one might take few weeks more, maybe a month more. I cannot be super precise because it is under development. We wanted to have it ready actually mid January, which is like now. However, we need to improve it. And okay, we know that we could potentially release it, but let's improve it first. So I will say give few weeks, 2 to 4 weeks time, to have it for the VIP and beta first, and then a month later will be available for online racing.
All right, let's move on to the next question, shall we?
Sure.
Okay, this is a big one. Seeing designing the car, will there be a custom kind design market like Forza Horizon, for example, using RC to buy and sell car designs? Will there be a simple and effective software or in-game way to create your own custom car designs and car tuning with parts? Will there be second-hand car parts,
Okay.
engine parts with virtual market based on RC?
And
You
in
know,
general, it says about if there's going to be a market about customizing cars, a market about it,
Right.
libraries, a market about libraries online and buying and selling something and
Yeah.
gain some
Yeah.
money or RC or whatever.
someone got out of hand and asked way too many questions.
Yeah,
Everyone,
but
Yeah. It's
it's
okay.
relative. It's relevant. Okay, it's
Don't
relevant.
worry, Boxio 281. We love you, man. I mean, asking many questions is good. Um. So yeah, libraries, of course, or libraries, I'm not sure how you're supposed to pronounce it, will be, of course, in the marketplace. Some people can offer them for free. It's up to you. Some others, especially maybe very, very artistic ones, could potentially be sold. Now, the libraries, though, however, work between the same cars because of the body shape. You cannot take a livery from this particular car, which is a vintage Le Mans car, and put it on a WRC car because it doesn't fit. So and this is how it works in other AAA titles like Gran Turismo, Forza, Motorsport Horizon, and this kind of stuff. So yes, you will be able to sell them if you want, or to donate them, or give them for free. Regarding parts are more, and there is a question later, parts are more connected with the car itself, but there are a few parts that are tradable: nitro, super racing fuel, methanol, a CO2 bottle or nitrogen bottle for the air for drag racing. So things that are portable and easy to put in a car as an add-on, or maybe a turbo system. It depends the car. So this stuff could be tradable and you can resell them on the marketplace, but not everything. If you change pistons, if you change rods, if you change camshaft, if you change a radiator, I don't know, differential, these things are bounded to the car.
So
All right.
in general, in other games, it's like this. Yes, so it would be very nice to apply this to our game. Next
Yes.
question. Uh,
let's move on.
let's move on a little bit. What do we have? Uh,
Yes, page 6.
Something
yeah.
similar
Well,
to
to our previous
the
question.
previous question.
Yeah, I answered that. This is
Yes,
pretty much. It's good that we have it written. Of course, people might like to see it written as well.
of
So
course.
yes, upgrades will be mostly permanently car bounded. Um,
Do you think we can have a rally trucks?
yeah,
Yes,
rally
a lot
tracks.
of
Yes.
people love rally
The
tracks.
the other day we were talking with the physics team, and especially Ivan, who's the leader in their physics department. And the physics engine is capable of that. However, we need to improve it, and we want first to make sure that the road tarmac situation, asphalt situation, it is the way to go, because this is where most people spend the time. At least this is the direction we want to have. Plus, we have the Turismo mode, which is driving on the streets. So yes, rally, it is already from day one in our in our roadmap. We can easily say add it in a future update. It's just a matter of priorities, guys. It's one of the things. So technically speaking, we're capable of having it in our physics engine. But yes.
So to move to the next one, we have from Sandbagging One. It says, "Will career mode cars and rewards also be NFTs, and will they be able to used in multiplayer gaming?"
Right. Yeah. Yes. The short answer is yes. That's a purpose. I mean,
Short answer,
when you
yes.
are having an NFT car, you'll be able to benefit from using that NFT car as an owner, and you'll be able to, of course, collect tokens, RC tokens, if it's especially on online racing, because what we don't want to happen is we don't want the RC tokens to be distributed just freely like that, because that will have an impact in our token price. And, it's something that we need to have proper balance. But the cars, yes, absolutely. We will prioritize, and we are prioritizing as we speak, those NFT cars to be the first that will be part of the official Rebel Cars game. Now we're still on a demo beta version. We're testing a lot of stuff. We're testing the multiplayer. We're testing, upgrading our physics. As you know, we've made a new physics engine, um, which is a very big milestone. Other games take 5 years or so to achieve that. And now we're testing also advanced force feedback. So all that stuff will definitely be included. And NFTs, yes, car NFTs will be part of the game. You'll be able to enjoy your car that you have, and to rent it to others, to sell it to others, and all that stuff.
And in general, there's going to be a connection between live gaming and multiplayer and the story mode, I
Yeah.
suppose, but we're not yet exactly into these details as we move on. Perry, for the next one.
Yes, for the next one.
Yeah.
We have a question from Ash234 and some questions from Dubaj Z3. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm sorry if I butchered it. When will we be able to get RC available in a different network? A lot of people want this, I think, or have been
Um,
asking for it specifically.
well, I mean, I don't know about that, because Elysium is a great, chain, technically speaking, and we
Yeah,
have
yeah,
great
no,
support.
definitely.
We have great support from Elysium. So it's not in our priorities to do something like that. We're not unhappy or anything. Actually, the very opposite. And actually, what I believe is going to happen is a lot more people, once the Rebel Car Games starts to do what it's supposed to do, is to bring the versions out and all the cars or the racetracks. A lot of attention will come to Rebel Cars and to Elysium. So for the time being, even though we're discussing with some big chains and they have shown interest, we posed the integration, because I feel, let's first make our product rock solid, super amazing, and then it's going to be even better for us to arrange such deals. It's one thing is to have a demo or a prototype of a game, even though we have a great physics engine we're working on and we have developed, and different when it's fully or at least in a stage where it is ready to be shipped worldwide through big channels of communication and other gaming networks.
Yes, and we,
Right.
we, we want people to know, especially in this time, that our physics engine is something that we created from scratch. Meaning we didn't buy or we didn't get a ready one.
An already existing one, yeah.
So it's not a canned physics engine, something that we developed with the developers from zero. And takes time, and this takes a lot of
Right.
effort to be created.
One more top discussion about this is that there is no actually a physics agent available to purchase and to be able to have good physics, sim racing quality physics.
Mhm.
Okay, there are like Electronic Arts is using one, then Ubisoft, then is iRacing, is Assetto Corsa, and and then there is only one that are shared between a few other titles. But as we speak, either you're gonna have an arcade kind of, very simplistic driving
Sega
experience.
Rally style, the old style, yeah. Sega Rally style.
Yeah, I mean, you know, or you have to find a way which from one end we're extremely happy and we're lucky and we're, I don't know if it's lucky is a proper word, because okay, we put a lot of effort into that, but we're very happy at least that we have that. That's a solid thing. Let's move forward. Enough with the physics engine. Let's discuss other topics.
Yeah, pretty quickly. Can you tell us if there are going to be any more unlocks?
We have discussed this. I put it there because I feel it's important
Yeah.
for the people to know. No more unlocks. Um, RC token, obviously, now it's on Maxi, Bitmart, and by economy. Two more exchanges are also already, integrated. Have integration of Elysium, of course, plus RC token has already been arranged. We're waiting the proper time with the product and everything. So it's, I don't feel now it's the most important is to list. The most important is to proceed with the game and proceed with the marketing once the game it's in the stage which we want it to be.
Yes. Okay, the other question is simply simple. It says from Finley, he wants to know if our game is can be a sim or simcade or an arcade racer. What would you think it's
What's
better?
our orientation
Yes.
more? Let's say.
Right. Yeah. um
We kind of answered this.
yeah, we answered it. I would say if you play Gran Turismo, or if you play Assetto Corsa, or kind of this kind of games, or Forza Motorsport, it fits somewhere in that category. So it's not the most difficult game, but it's not a simple game where you just drive with 300, 200 kilometers, 120 miles, you turn right, and everything is okay, and you turn the corner. It's not like that. You need to have a little bit of driving understanding, and that's why we also have the Rebel Cars Racing Academy and other features, which we can discuss later on in the in another session, which it's more and more in-depth discussion of how the physics and the racing sim works. But yes, not an arcade, somewhere in between. People can have fun. You go either with a steering wheel or with a controller. We're developing also an update of the controller, so people can have fun, enjoy a couple of hours of driving, have their pit girls messaging them, race, race with others, um, earn rewards, win, and even lose, of course, and move on and have a great time.
All right. That was very enlightening. So we have a question from King of O. It says, recently purchased a share of a racetrack. How will this work? Is there a system to monitor players that they use a racetrack, their time of playing, and how much RC will their owners of the track gain in each use?
Yes, yes, absolutely. So yeah, regarding that question, we have already were in development of an interface which you connect with your profile, and depending which racetracks you have, you can see how much is in development, integration, beta testing, and all that stuff, total progress, if the racetrack is under development. And you can see also what are the revenue that generated and from which sources. For example, let's say we make an esport event with crypto companies and they put billboards, advertisements, we make revenue out of that, and you are a shareholder, you will see that this particular billboard made this much money, or from betting and whatever else where we will include. So yes, it is already in our development. It takes more time than a normal, let's say, user profile, but it is, of course, something that will be very important as a shareholder of a racetrack to know this particular information. It's like renting, owning an apartment, and you're renting it. You want to know how many days is booked, how much money you made per month, and all that stuff, and your revenue model, how it is. The good thing compared to to renting a house or an Airbnb situation with something similar it is you don't have expenses. So this is a one-time fee. You're buying the shares and you just slip on it. And as the game becomes bigger and bigger, more adoption is happening, the revenue will start and the stream will start happening. This is
Okay,
our
Leonidas,
plan. This is what we're working on.
I'm sorry to interrupt. You have to be a little faster so we can have time for more questions. And one of them will be, it's very similar to the one I asked, is how the purchase is going to be available on the assets page. Then is there going to be a VR portal?
Maybe let's talk about the VR portal
yeah.
more.
Yeah.
Like, will we be able to feel the materials or
Yeah,
smell the materials?
About the track and purchases, the asset page are going to say that we're
Right.
developing this
Yeah.
at the moment. It's on development. You want to move
Yes.
on, say something about the VR, whatever you like.
So you see, it is possible even now for the owners of the racetracks to experiencing the racetracks. We can, add it inside the development, um, a project like like a pixel streaming related service where you can put your username. It connects you. You're owner of Imola, Monza, whatever, Monaco, and you can walk around and experience it. So that is possible. Um, I'm not sure if it's worth the effort and the time to do that, um, or it's better to have it as a weekly update or a bi-weekly update to include it inside the portal without being interactive. That is, of course, interactive is better for everyone. They will like it more. However, that will delay us in other topics. So it's a trade-off we have to do. In my opinion, it's better to include videos presenting it in a nice, in a nice visual way for the shareholders to see the development and what is happening. Because it's going to be quite, will require a lot of resources if for every track we're making, we actually make a mini game.
All right, let's move on to the next question. So, Andronikos, can you please tell us what the process is behind the scenes for creating a new map or a new car and then integrating that into the game? Like, how do we do that?
Okay, so how are we doing it? So, okay, so let me explain. It's different when you're making a car, and it's different when you're making a racetrack, because the racetrack requires data, very precise data, to be identical to the real track and the car. But the car is a smaller object. There are many information data where you can collect for a racetrack. It requires leader scanning, like scanning the racetrack, checking every bump, checking all the little details. So it takes about 3 months to do a racetrack, compared to no more than 3 months, approximately 3 months to do a racetrack compared to maybe a month to do a car. Um, Technically speaking, okay, it's a 3D asset. You're developing by creating vertices, pixels, you projecting textures, um, and you are having a test drive experience. The other day, we're doing a test drive on some racetracks, and we felt for some reason they didn't have the proper feeling, especially some of the curbs. So we had to measure to make sure. So in the car, because it's everywhere available, from CAD models to all that stuff, it's an easier process. So, but yes, I'm not sure if I'm answering that question, but making a racetrack, it is much more complicated. It's 4 kilometers long. It matters if it has paint, what kind of material are the curbs, how wide it is. If you change the width of a racetrack by by 10 centimeters, the lap time will change, and people, especially sim racers, will experience the difference. And myself, as I'm driving, I have particular spots which I know where to look in order to drive in a particular racetrack, let's say Imola or Spa or Monza or wherever. If these are not identical between, from the real thing, then as a sim race, as a driver, this can, be confusing to me, and also I might affect my racing experience, the immersion, if it's the real thing. Yeah, so you have to be very careful when you make a racetrack. It's much more time consuming. And that is why also it's a lot more expensive to develop it and as a shareholder to purchase it because, it's only one. It's like, you have one Monza only or one Monaco. But for cars, reproduction, you make one and you can duplicate it.
Okay, to the next one from Dark Ronin. He wants to know if in the specific street races is going to be any traffic, or I have another question similar that says if there's going to be any police chasing the cars.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm going to say a little bit about this, and if you want
sure.
to say a little bit about the Rebel Cars Academy, what we want to do with the Rebel Cars Academy.
Somebody played a lot of Need for Speed.
Yeah, a lot of Need for Speed. Yeah.
Right. So again, using the same physics model, a little bit easier. We'll have some features when you're doing a turismo mode and where you're chasing by the police, not to be so difficult and so precise at driving, because then it will be very difficult to drive with traffic. So traffic will be a feature where in some servers or in some particular events will be traffic on or without traffic, because some people don't want to race all the time or to be chased by the police. Some others might want to have their cabrio car with a pit girl with a VR and just enjoy a coastline of Italy or from wherever. So the game we're making, it is designed in such a way to be populated with cars, with police or without police, or just free driving and experience. You can try to find a location, try to find hidden gems and experience that. So that is the basic behind the driving on the street. However, it might be some servers or some events, say drag racing in that particular area, where, like in the picture, you can go freely with whatever car you want. You put your turbos, nitros, whatever, and people to do outlaw races. Either it's a street race, on drag race, or to be from point A to point B inside traffic or outside the traffic. This is a big module of the game, so it will come once we have the sim racing aspect more developed, and then we will move to this one. So yeah, what was the next question?
The next question is: are there going to be different car categories in order to use the NFTs, like to keep the
Yeah,
balance and make the game fair? For example, if I have a 400 horsepower car, will I just be able to race with anyone that has a 100 horsepower car, or will I be able to
yeah.
race
I mean, there
other
are
people in my
games,
level?
other games that have successfully done that, which is called balance of performance. So if you have a car which is 700 horsepower and I have a car with 500 horsepower and want to enter a race, it has reducing your horsepower or adds weight and makes the performance about similar. Of course, your car will handle a little bit different than mine. It's a different chassis, different ride height, different wheelbase and stuff. So it won't be exactly the same. Otherwise, what's the point of having different cars? Just this is not a sim racing. So yes, there will be, of course, car modifications and rank races where upgrades to be allowed and people to use these parts. This is the important thing, because after all, you spend some money to or credits, whatever it is, the decision if it's a non-NFT route of the game or if it's a more NFT reward based system. You want their upgrades to play a big role in the race or in the experience. So yes, this in these
And
cases there will be modifications available, and it's like in real life. There will be lobbies which you can enter freely, or you have a balance of performance.
in general, I want to say, because we were working on this, that they're going to be categorized. All the cars are categorized. They're going to be different categories depending on the aspects of the cars.
Mhm.
Yeah,
In all the game functions, from multiplayer to single player to whatever.
yeah, Nikos has created all the categories and has made sure that it's all balanced.
Yes.
So thank you, Nick.
I
Yeah.
thank you for the watching.
What if you have a car which is, let's say you start a car, it's 200 horsepower and you upgrade it to 500 horsepower, then that car can also be entered in higher tier categories racing,
Yes,
um,
exactly. As you develop the car, it's going
right.
to change category.
Yes, you can change category. So those who have knowledge in tuning and parts and buying parts, they will benefit from that, and they will be able to go with a Yaris, tuned to 400 or 500 horsepower, to a GT4 potential race.
And
That
at
is
this
okay,
point,
and that is fun.
of course, and at this point, I would like to share a small secret of the, a very small one. So Andronik was not going to hunt me. We are thinking about making some things that are very ahead of the game in sports car racing and very innovative. Like all the things about the cars, we are thinking about making. You know that we have already said that we're going to make something like a race school that people is going to learn how to race, to drive the
Yeah,
car as a race driver, and we're maybe thinking about making a similar thing about modding the car, where
yeah,
people can learn about the engine parts and
The
how to
tuning
mod.
school
Yeah,
or
tuning
whatever.
school, some kind of. So
yeah. When you buy this turbo has this kind of effect, and this is
exactly.
what's happening. All right, let's move to the next question here.
Next question is
Also, we
about
need time
collision.
to answer the questions.
Be
Yeah,
quick
I'd be like
about this.
saying
Play the
about.
video as well in the background to give a bit more context as to what it will look
Yeah,
like.
I click it. Okay, so
So, what's the
crash.
collision
Yes.
gonna be like between two cars, and will they ghost? And like
Hmm.
in similar games, I will show in the video right here.
And in general, how the
Uh,
cars
yeah,
break
Right.
down in general.
So we definitely don't want what you see here on the visuals, even though it's looking pretty damn cool. Because as a driver, if you crash, you don't want to end up on the race, and that's it. That's not fun. Whenever I'm racing online or even as a career, if I hit a little bit the car, I don't want my race to disappear. Imagine doing 10 laps, 20 laps races. Maybe some races are endurance, 1 hour, 2 hours. Some races are co-op, meaning two, three players be in a team and race together. So we don't want a total disaster. What we would like to have is a situation where if you crash badly, maybe your ABS is malfunctioning, maybe your steering wheel, instead of being straight, your steering wheel has a little bit of vibration or it's in an angle. Things like that to make people to be cautious of driving, but not to completely eliminate in the race. Elimination can happen if you are sabotaging the game, if you are um, crashing intentionally to others, then you can potentially be banned because people will report you and stuff. So, like, in a night race, maybe your lights will flicker, maybe your traction control will not work very good, or shifts can jump, instead of first, second, third, fourth gear, can jump one gear, or don't take it with the first click. Maybe you need to put 3 4 times. So stuff like that will definitely be integrated, and it's easy to integrate it because it's part of the physics engine. What we don't have in our physics engine is a model where it's crashing the car, and we didn't intentionally do that for the reason mentioned. So hope I'm answering that.
all right. Let's move on to the next question, shall we?
Sure.
Yes. This is about the Turismo mode. Is will there be a choice to drive with or without AI traffic, or with police? The one we all
Similar to the
already
one that we
we
said before.
already
Yes.
yes.
So
Yeah,
they
I
need to
think we have
repeat the
answered
question.
that. So
Okay,
yes,
let's move to the next one.
depending that
Yes.
server, people will be able to go with police or without. Most wanted leaderboard and stuff like that. There will be cases. There will be a lot of fun on this. um and also, open world situation, it is something that's why we call it charisma mode, because it's an open world kind of system. So yes, it will be online based. It will have a social aspect of inside rebel cars, the turismo. And we can also maybe discuss in a future MA or in the questions, bounties for special turismo challenges. If some people can become police, some others can become, I don't know, the thieves or whatever, and we can offer, and they can enter with some tokens or credits, whatever we decide to do it. Credits, I'm saying, because we don't want the game to be purely only token based. so we can have an easy port to the masses. Then they will start realizing that how important it is to have RC, because they could make money, they will participate in high tier races, they can rent their cars to others, they can make revenue from race cars, race tracks, and race cars. But the entrance, we want it to be credit based for easy adoption. So we don't want to turn them off because it's
Yeah,
very
yeah.
sensitive topic. Even now, there are not so many people that are comfortable with playing, blockchain games, because they find it difficult or insecure or whatever. So we have to make this migration as smooth as possible.
Smooth, yes, very nice. And we would
Let's talk
like
about
the
specs.
specs of the game. Many people ask about specs.
And
Okay.
what's the supported hardware is what they're asking. Will
All
the
right,
game run on my system? Something like that.
right.
So based
Also,
on the testing in general, I think I can kind of answer this. Based on the testing, a lot of people have ran it with lower end systems. So what you see here, uh,
the
I
basic
hope you can
Yes,
requirements.
yes.
clearly see the
So
screen.
yeah,
Uh,
one thing is when we are when you, I'll say something general, because some people might not know how game development exactly works. Number one, you have to make it work. So it's like trying to cook for your first time. You try not to burn your food, not to be disaster. So you try to make it work. Once it's good, once you cooked it, then you refine it. You refine the graphics, you refine the FPS, you add compatibility of different controllers, different racing systems, different steering wheels, and eventually then you are refining more and more and more, and you come up with a product which is pristine and runs very smooth even to lower end computers. Now, of course, as a company and as a game, you have a decision to make. I'm going to go lower end, lower graphics, or high end, better computers with better graphics. We prefer the better graphics because very simple. We believe in technology. We believe that the graphics computational power and the cost purchasing a graphics card will reduce as things are moving forward. And we saw this already with NVIDIA, the new graphics card. The other day, for AI, they developed a computer, very, very small. Actually, it was, I think, a day ago, about the size of a hard drive, which is 1,000 times faster than the best GPU currently for AI computation. So all the Pete girls, for example, and all these AI driven um, calculations will be very easy to be analyzed as the time is passing. More data, more resources, better computers. So these are the graphics, the specs for now, which you can play the game comfortable. They will be improve the graphics and will have better FPS performance.
In this same category, many people ask about if we're going to integrate the game to consoles. You want to say
Yeah,
something fast about it?
I will answer that. There was another time that I was invited in one of the big AMA shows for Web3 blockchain games about consoles. This is a tricky part. I will say number one priority it is to go on Epic Store, because it's the most, let's say, favorite for blockchain related games. And after Epic, then it goes to Steam and then goes to consoles. That's the route. You cannot go directly to consoles, I believe, and I, from experience and from other people that were discussing, it's almost impossible to go directly to consoles. The consoles also have a problem with when it comes to blockchain and real money. They want to keep all for themselves or whatever politics they have. So Rebel Cars will definitely not be the game that will prioritize consoles because of these limitations, this politics involved. However, we want to have it, and it is in our roadmap. So, what can potentially do, and already thinking about it, is to have Rebel Cars game with a non NFT side for to be adopted easier, and then people will start understanding what is they're missing, They will see the limitations. They will see they can make money
Automotive.
instead of spending only money, and and I believe that this is a good way to introduce the Web3 aspect and earning aspect of a game like a racing game, which is
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's very nice. So,
a lot of a lot of potential here. There are even now there are professional racing games. They just don't do it inside the consoles. You know, they do it
yeah.
outside
On
by
the
their
topic
yeah.
of consoles, Andronikos.
would you like to say something about the game controllers? And
Yeah, someone Locks
Right.
asked that said that if game, I presume game controllers will be used mostly by new players and recreational gamers. Whilst they will never give the same experience and control as a racing wheel, is the
Okay.
goal to make the game with controllers equal to the other popular racing games? And to that, the short answer is yes. But of course, you can proceed with giving a little bit of a longer answer.
You can never have the same experience. It's impossible, guys. It's driving a car with a keyboard, even
It's
in
night
real
and
life.
day.
Yeah, I mean, let's say Elon Musk creates a car, you drive it with a keyboard or a controller. It won't feel the same. So, yes, you can drive it maybe equally fast. How? Only if AI or additional helpers inside the game help the people who play with keyboard or controller to prevent them from locking the brakes or sliding and stuff, which most games do. You know, they make driving experience easier when it comes to those devices. So the matchmaking when you race online, multiplayer racing, controllers, steering wheels, and keyboard to be a little bit balanced. So but steering will always be more precise or more exciting. After all, there wouldn't be so many companies making all this sim racing equipment if there was no added value for that. You know, there are some controls that cost thousands of dollars to be purchased, and there is for a reason because they bring higher experience, clear clarity on the driving. So
would you
yes,
like would you like to say
but they will
something
be able
about,
to play. Hmm?
yes, about the rigs? You mean about the racing rigs?
Yeah, but the other day I was playing our game with keyboard, and what they something I didn't mention. The new we have a new physics update, which the beta testers have tried it, and the VIP, and it drives much better now on keyboard. Controller, I think, is gonna come in few days. So already we're bringing the gap closer, and was able to do a lot of laps without crashing and anything. Of course, I'm a steering guy, and this is what I love doing. But yes, it was fun of driving it with a keyboard, and I was able to even do counter steer, to save the car. So it was a fun experience. I still need to do a video about that. I promised to do it just because of I was a little bit sick there a few days ago. Maybe you can hear from my voice, and I couldn't have the time to do it for other obligations. However, it drives much better with keyboard, and we're gonna bring the gap, but it won't never, never, never gonna be the same. Steering wheel is the king.
Do you want to say something about the sustainability in rebel cars and how we think about it with zero emission things now? With everybody wants to be ecologically warned,
Right.
and,
I
but
can answer.
we're
Is Rebel Cars going green? That's
yeah,
the
we
question.
don't have
Yeah,
real
yeah.
cars here driving them,
Elysium
but
is
we
green.
want
I'll
to know.
start by that. So, Elysium, the colors of Elysium is green, and it's green for a reason because it's ultra fast. It's almost zero negative digital footprint. So, and it's tailor made for games. What maybe some people don't know is, and a lot of people go to these big chains because they're famous. Okay, fine. Yes, being famous is important for other reasons, but it's like having a truck trying to go from point A to point B. It's not that efficient. That's why there's smaller cars, city cars exist, and Elysium is designed for that. Now, sorry, it's not my mega priority to see how many watts or
Yeah,
CPU consumption it takes to run our game. My priority and our priority is to make an amazing game which is better than any other racing game and gives you all the excitement, with from pit girls to turbos to this and that, turismo, chasing police, parts, career mode, and all that stuff. And Elysium is just there to do what knows how to do best, to provide us with the fastest network, one of the fastest network, and without expensive gas fees or close to none. Imagine running this game on Ethereum. That would
Yeah,
be
but
quite.
in general, we're not also moving towards the opposite way. I mean, we are
Yeah.
trying to, whenever we have the possibility, we're trying to be green. That's right.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, yes, the political thing
Whenever
has
we
to
can,
stay
we do
there.
it.
Yeah.
It's just not in our priority.
Yeah, of course, of
You
course.
know,
You want to
we're
say
still
something
doing the
about the
green.
teams, about the
Yes.
racing teams that are game?
Can we own racing
Can we
teams?
have a
That's
racing team? How we're going to
Yeah.
implement this? Very nice question.
Yeah, that's a good question. And yes, I have we have replied that. And team ownership is a great thing. And the crypto esport event, it is the first pillar for that. Um, Imagine crypto esport racing team, whatever name, I'll just say a name, Water. I don't know even if it exists, that token or name or whatever. Let's say Water Racing Team. So Water Racing Team can have its own cars. They can purchase the car. They can put their liveries. They can ask the community to dress them up. They have their own drivers, put branding, inside the racetrack, either by paying, or we can offer some free space depending the situation and the deal. They can incentivize their racing drivers and create an actual racing team, just a virtual one. And this is something that it is on our priority. And that is why Rebel Cars, it's a sim esport racing game. And it's not like any other game. It's not like an arcade game, because this is where we feel is going to be much more beneficial as an ecosystem when the big boys and the team and the racing teams join us. Of course, the individual is very, very important, but if you have 10, 20 famous teams, like the partnership we're doing, we are not allowed to say it yet. Um, then obviously adds credibility, and people are more excited to play and participate under a team badge. Especially imagine a co-op endurance race. Let's say a 1 hour race, you drive 30 minutes, 20 minutes, I drive another 20, Perry's drive another 20. We're all in the same team. We help each other. We have our pit girls telling us what to do or whatever. We argue between each other and we try to win. So this is what we would like to achieve.
And also brings the game near to reality, because many people can have an aspect to be a race car driver, a virtual car driver, or a racing team.
Yes, correct.
Let's
Perry, would you
move
like to
on to
move on?
the. Yeah, sure. Let's move on to the next question, which kind of related to teams, but will you put up the esports competitors' brands on the racetrack advertising boards before or during the comp, even if free for a month? So to this, we have a video right here, which will give you a
Yeah.
short
So
answer.
yeah. So the idea of the esport racing and all that stuff, it is a true metaverse experience of racing. So each team has two cars. They have branded the way they would like it. They put inside their pits, inside their garages, information inside their monitors that are, some of them are also interactable. You can click on a laptop inside there and get more information. It can redirect you maybe to their website or whatever, and you can walk inside the pitch and go from one team to the next one to the next one and learn about all of these projects. And this is what we are developing as we speak. And this is also something that will be part of the game, because it's very, very nice, not only as a racer but also as a visitor, to have this experience, walking in the pits and seeing the different cars, and by interacting with, even you can click on a car and give you the driver information, the accomplishments, and all that stuff. There's a lot of things we want to make already. Some of them are in development and some other will come in the future, but the whole idea about esport and racing, it's includes this experience of a little bit of a metaverse feel to it.
Yes,
And
and in general, to me, what I wanted to say is that we're creating a game again. I'm going to say it because it's very This is very will make us very happy. We're creating a game of innovation. We have a lot of innovations that other racing game doesn't have, and this will make it quite a difference, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, okay, we all have our own vision. Other companies try to do other things. Um, we know what we want to achieve, and of course, with the community and the help and some of the great ideas, we can shape it here and there. And this is something that I want to add also. There's a lot of times companies have their own strategy, they go one way, and then they realize they made a mistake. And that's why we want you to put your questions, put some ideas.
But
The
that's the
Pit
first point.
Girl idea, I think it arrived from a member, or I'm not sure exactly. And this is how we adopted it, and people start liking it. And now we see the use case of the Pit Girls, and that could be potentially a big thing, for the community driven excitement as you drive and race and you win, and then you have your Pit Girl messaging you on your phone or whatever. So yes, let's move on.
All right, let's move on to the next question from Dubaz Z3. Again, I think the second question or
Yeah.
he's asked. How can I imagine the tournament going on? Are you inviting the partners and teams into your headquarters? And will they be racing on prepared rigs or will it be hosted digitally? Everyone on the rigs at home.
Yeah, short
We've
answer is
discussed this
both.
before, Andronikos, I think, right? You and I specifically about
Yeah,
hosting events locally.
we did one on the Vulcan 4 event back in June, only with
Yes,
two sim rigs.
in
Back
London.
then, it was the first demo of Rebel Cars. It was using an older physics version, and a lot of people drove, and they did a time attack event and all that stuff. Now, of course, we have progressed so much. We have many cars, we have many racetracks, and the development. Some of them are already done. So we will have both. We'll have, of course, the online tournaments and competition that will happen in a monthly basis or so, and then we'll have in some major events other that we will organize, or most likely we will be invited to have our own booth. I can name a few, but I don't think it's appropriate right now um, to say to which events would potentially participate. To have our sim rigs, a big screen, people to line up, register their interest, test drive it, the best drivers to be included in a championship. Some others could be potentially coming from some other projects, other crypto projects, and they want to have their branded cars race with others and all that stuff. So it's so much stuff we can do. But yes, it's definitely very important for us to bring the virtual racing with some sort of real life racing experience in terms of in a physical space, people to be together and they interact.
Yes.
And
This brings an extra excitement.
we have a very interesting question from one of our viewers at the moment. It's a bit of a joke, but as we think about it, it's very interesting. Is if we're going to have a Limanaka racetrack? The part
Yeah,
from
this is more of a
his
Greek
father
thing.
to
Yeah.
this is going
Okay,
to be
this is
fantastic to make this for
Yeah, it
Limanaka
would be
racetrack,
right.
like
So
underground racing stuff.
yeah, allow me to use this as the other day I was discussing with one very knowledgeable person on the sim racing world of how if we can potentially open um, our to for user generate racetracks, and the short answer is yes, but we need um, to filter the quality and their credibility. So there are a lot of talent out there that they're willing to develop their own racetracks or particular paths. um, some people can be from Latin America, which I've never been myself, and maybe they have an amazing path, and they can develop it and we can adopt it in the game. And of course, the people who developing that and enters in the game, they will credit, and they will of course uh, have rewards from that, from the adoption of such racetrack or race path or turismo level, let's say, map. So this is a question to be still to be answered. we want to do it, it requires to be a little bit elegant and cautious, because a lot of people might start uploading stuff or requesting why my map is not approved and if the quality is not good. And we don't want to sacrifice the quality of the game. We want to make sure that this top level stuff from day one. This is our goal. So,
And
but yeah,
in general, Limanake was a very, very nice addition because I thought that we are going to have also the betting option in our game. So it's a little bit
look,
underground with betting, underground cars, race cars, all these things. Very,
It fits the
yeah,
dynamic.
it fits the dynamic of rebel cars.
yeah, we can definitely have some street iconic locations. In Tokyo, there is one particular road that are meant for street racing, illegal situation.
Oh,
We
we
can
should.
adopt that virtually in our game. But
S-
okay, I'm not sure about the Greek road that you mentioned, Limanaka, is not that famous for most people, so maybe not be the
Maybe
priority.
we
And
should.
Aguilos, although you would love to have it, I'm not sure if we're going to prioritize that.
No, no, maybe not
I'm not
prioritize,
saying
but
no. I'm just saying it could be fun to have it, but it's not a
it would be
priority.
fun to add the drifting. What is it called? The
Well,
parking lot they had in Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, and have a drifting map
yeah,
there.
yeah. Okay, let's answer some of the other
The last
questions
question. This is the last
This
from.
question.
is the last question. We come to the last one. So the last one
Let's see
says,
what other questions they have. Anyone? Let me read. Uh,
Maybe we should finish this one and
"You
then
want to
check
finish
for
this one and then check for new ones?"
common
Oh
questions.
yeah, yeah. Yes, we submitted some updates on CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko a few days ago, so that the data to be valid. I believe in the next few days, hopefully they will be updated regarding our tokenomics and distribution and all that stuff to be nice and transparent, so people to know. Right now, it's about 27.5% on circulation of RC tokens. There is no more unlocks. No other tokens have been distributed to any kind of advisors or things like that. So this is from the token related question. And then other question, I believe already answered it. If Rebel Car is going to be on Epic or Steam, Epic is preferred. It's more favored for what we're making, and the roadmap ahead has and NFT integration in the game, multiplayer racing, of course, already testing it, and physics engine fine tuning. It's an ongoing thing. 2025 onwards, um,
Okay,
the sport competitions will happen, and end of the year we see a more polished version and the launch of an Epic store.
and many people want to know about the listings and marketing about the crypto, but I believe you have to say to make an announcement that we're of course care about the crypto and the evolution of our crypto, but also we're trying to
Make
be
the game.
to make the game.
We're trying to make the
Yeah,
game
we're
mostly.
trying to make the game worthy of a crypto. So it will
Yeah,
be
when it comes to product, there's a lot of there are two strategies. I was out the other day on another MAA, and a lot of people try to hype it, and they don't pay attention to the product, and what they end up actually after is without the product, without anything to support, and but everything goes to zero. So it's different styles, different people. We're here for good. We're here to stay. We're here to make an amazing game. And we have already the fundamentals. We have cars, we have racetracks, we have our own physics. We know what we're doing. So it's up to you guys to, of course, check all that stuff. And let's answer one more question. There was a question of Vulcan X. Here I see Uncle Dano. Yes, okay, of course, Rebel Cars will be on Vulcan X. We just have to discuss this when, and it's when the two new exchanges. Let's not bring dates. We're not allowed to bring dates already arranged. So this one, what other question? Uh, personal livery, touches on parts, scratches, logos. Yeah, I mean the car editor can do that. Um, so a person saying, okay, 20 from all over the world, issues on lag. Yeah, the server will be based on Europe, so the drivers will be Europe based, and we will make sure there's no lag. About 50 to 100 milliseconds will be the ping, and this is what we're testing. What does? Uh, okay. Love the taxi driver mode in the crew too. I haven't tested this. Maybe Nikos Perry, you give it a try.
Yeah.
And yeah, Elysium is the green answer. Let's end up with this. And yes, Elysium, it is green and it's very green. And by the way, you know that Elysium changed its token ticket and name from Lava. It's now Ely, ELY. And I feel this is a very great decision, brings more awareness to the great chain we have. We have adopted the Elysium from day one in terms of technology and all that. And yeah, thank you all so much. Thank you, Perry, Nikos. All the
No, thank you.
questions were great. There were few questions that we didn't answer because they were repetitive, and some that we didn't have the time to answer.
Only two
And we
jokes of
promise to do it in the
questions.
next session or so. Yeah, so that is it from my side. I hope you enjoyed the video, and see you all on Discord on our socials. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank you, Andronikos. We're going until the next one. Be safe. Drive safe.
Yeah, absolutely. Have a good one.
Have a good one.
Have a
Bye.
good night.
Bye bye.